So we're going to talk about the student instructions for how to submit a PDF that we've annotated using Read and Write. Okay, so as a student, I'm going to go to my assignment that my teacher has set up, and I'm going to see that there is a window going to pop up that's Google, and it's going to ask me to link my account. Okay, so this is another account that I have, and I'm going to click link. In your case, it's going to say your student email. All right, and then I'm going to click link. And I'm going to have to do this. Maybe some of these boxes won't be there every single time if I use it for more than one class, but you just kind of follow through this process. It might take it a minute or two. All right. And then we're going to see that it's going to pop up and it's going to say open to attach and submit. It's possible there will be a button here that says open in a new tab if your teacher did that. Okay. So if so, click on that button as well. So we're going to do open to attach and it's going to open it into another tab for us. And then I can click on the file. When I click on the file, it makes a copy for me. So now this is my copy of this document. Okay. And it's a PDF that my teacher wants me to be able to write on or highlight or annotate or whatever. So up here, I'm going to do open with and I'm going to do read and write. If I don't see read and write here, I'm going to click connect apps and I'm going to search for read. And I'm going to see read and write for Google Chrome is going to pop up. And I would just click on it and click install. Okay. In my case, it's already installed, so I don't need to do that. So I'm going to do open with read and write for Google Chrome, and it's going to open my PDF. Now, sometimes if I do this the first time, it's not going to open with all the controls. So I have to click my account and do all this. And sometimes we'll see that it's not actually going to open it the very first time with the toolbar. It's just a weird glitch that happens sometimes. So if that's the case, we'll just close it and try it again. Okay. So that's the first troubleshooting step to take. Okay. So we're going to see my PDF kind of populate. And it can take a minute. It's actually going to pop up on a different screen for me because I have more than one thing. So I have to click allow. You've seen these before for Google. And we're going to see it. Notice my toolbar didn't show up. All right, so there's no toolbar at the top. So I'm going to close it and try it again. Sometimes the very first time you authorize all of that, that's what happens. And that's okay. So we're just going to click read or write again. And this time it's all authorized. It knows my account. I don't have to do all that. So the toolbar should load just fine at the top. Okay, so now I see I have a bunch of tools up here, and then down here I also have some tools that I want to pay attention to, okay? So in this first one, it wants me to type. So I'm even showing you on this how to do that. So I'm using these tools up here specifically. These are pictures on my PDF that are just walking us through the process. So in order to type, I use the T feature. So I'm going to go up here and click on the T, and it's called a typewriter, and then I click where I want to type. So ta-da, I can type. Some things of note is if I take a look at some of these toolbars, I can do some things like I can listen to what I wrote. I can also do some other things like I can increase my font size. I can make it smaller. I can change it to a different color. Okay. Or I can leave it whatever color. And so I can kind of play around with this. Right? And then I can also delete it. I can also use these little arrows to move it around. Okay, so I actually want to move it right there. Then I click the little check mark and it stays. All right, so that's how I type onto it with read and write. The other thing is I want to be able to highlight. So it wants me to highlight each of these words in different colors. And it shows me I'm going to use this button. So I'm going to click on the highlight button. So I'm going to highlight this one in a certain color. Oh, I must be still on the text. I want to undo text. Click on the highlight and click on a highlighter and see how it highlighted. If I do this one, I can click that. I can click this one. So you actually do it backwards. So you highlight the word first and then you go click your color. All right. And so I'm just showing that I can highlight successfully. Okay. I can also collect highlights and I can clear all my highlighting. Collecting highlights, like let's say my teacher has an entire article they want me to read and they want me to highlight certain things. And then at the end, they want me to submit only my highlights. I can click collect highlights and that'll create a separate thing with just my highlighted pieces. So that's kind of cool as well. All right. And I'll put it in my Google Drive. All right, the next thing is to sign your name. We're going to use the freehand drawing tool, and that looks like a fountain pen. So that's that icon right there. So I'm going to go click on it, and so I can sign, right? Or let's say I was working on a art project and I wanted to be able to type something out. And let's say I made a mistake, like you can't read my name there very well. So I can use the eraser to erase it. Okay. And in that case, I erased all of it. All right. So I can also play up here with the color I want it to be and how thick I want my pencil to be. Like maybe I want it to be a little thinner. Okay. And if that's the case, I can try it again. So then sign my name and ta-da, right? All right. The next thing is once you've done whatever it is your teacher wants you to do with those tools, right? We need to be able to then use our tool to do what we need to do. So we can also, by the way, draw shapes and do a few other things. So feel free to click around. All right. And one of the other things we can do is we can actually click on some text and we can listen to those directions out loud as well, which is pretty cool. Sometimes you're just done reading and need to hear it talk to you. So that's pretty cool. And then I can pause that and stop that process. Okay. Now, in order to save my annotation so that my teacher can see that I have interacted, I need to actually click on the printer. Okay. I know you're not printing it, but that's what we do in order to print it out as we want it. So we're going to click on the printer. And on a Chromebook, it's going to look a little different. It's going to automatically say save to PDF, and then we're going to click save. Okay. On your Chromebook, it's actually going to say Google Drive, and you're going to click on your Google Drive on the left and save it to your Google Drive. In my case, I'm on a laptop, so it's not going to look the same. So I'm going to save it somewhere that I can find it. One thing I want you to do is on that Google Drive file window, I want you to put a number in front of it, okay? And that way you can find it so that when you go back to your Google assignment, you're going to click Add File. And in your case, if you clicked on Google Drive on the left and saved it in your Google Drive, it'll be right here. If you didn't click on Google Drive, you might have to click on Uploads and select it and go to your downloads folder over on the left on the Google Chrome, on the little file explorer on your Chromebook and find it. Okay. So in my case, it's in my downloads because I did it that way because I'm on a laptop. But on the Chromebook, it's very similar, but I can save that first step under Google Drive and it'll be there. And I know it's the right one because it has a number 1 in front of the title. The other one that's blank doesn't have that number there. That's why I put something in front of it. You can put a different number. Just put something in the title so you know it's the right one. Then I click upload and I wait a second. If it was the one that you put in your Google Drive, you just select it and move on. Just make sure you kind of glance at it, the little thumbnail, and make sure it's got the writing on it. You might want to choose to remove the blank one, but you don't have to. But if you wanted to, you can, so that your teacher knows the right one is there. And then you click submit. All right. One thing of note, let's say oopsie, I submitted the wrong one. I submitted the blank one by mistake. That's okay. You can actually click unsubmit and get it back and try again. Or let's say you need a new copy of that template document, you can click here to get a new copy as well. Okay. So this is how you would submit a PDF that your teacher wants you to submit on Canvas to the Google Assignments assignment tool. Okay. Good luck. If you need anything, I'm Miss Slack and I'm happy to help. Thanks so much.